I am Dr.S.Baby Motcharakkini, Assistant Professor of Commerce from St.Joseph College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, Cuddalore. In this video, let's see about planning. First of all, what is meant by planning? The first and foremost functions of management is planning. Planning is deciding in advance what should be done. It is future oriented. Planning is required by all individuals, business and non-business organizations. It is practiced for all the types of organizations like small, medium and large scale organizations. The primary functions of management is to get the task done by others. Every manager has to plan for their enterprise. This plan may be viewed as a map. By following this, it is possible to check the extent of progress towards the projected goal. At the same time, it is a basic requirement and it is very important input of a management process. Thus, all organizational activities begin with the planning to achieve the objectives effectively. Next, we are going to see process of planning. We can see one by one. So the first one, setting objectives. The idea behind planning is to achieve desired objectives. Therefore, the first step is to clearly define and describe the objectives of the organization. Firstly, the major objectives should be specified and then they should be broken down into the individual, sectional and departmental objectives. So objectives serve as guidelines for discussion making in terms of resources allocations like work schedule, nature of actions, etc. The managers are kept in the mind while setting the objectives. All efforts must be made to anticipate the problems and relevant opportunities that are likely to arise in the future. The next one is developing planning premises. The next step in planning is to establish premises. Planning premises are the anticipated environment in which the plans are expected to operate. These includes assumptions and forecasts in the future and knowing conditions that will affect the course of a plan. These planning premises divided into two types like internal assumptions and external assumptions. External assumptions deals with factors such as political environment, social environment, advancements of technology, competitions, government policy, etc. Internal assumptions deals with policies, availability of resources, quality management, etc. So these assumptions should be uniform across the organizations. All managers should be aware of these premises and should be agree with them. And next one is identifying alternative courses of actions. After setting the objectives and making assumptions about the future, the next step is to determine alternative courses of action through which the organization can achieve its objectives. In order to identify the various alternative courses of action, it is required to collect all the necessary information from primary and secondary sources. That information should be collected properly and correctly. And next one is evaluating alternative courses. After identifying different alternatives, the next step is to evaluate each alternative. Evaluation means the study of a performance of various actions. All the possible alternatives should be evaluated, keeping in their mind expected to cost and benefit to the organizations. Comparison among the alternatives should be made in terms of factors such as risk involved, planning premises, goals to be achieved, etc. The positive and negative points of each alternative must be thoroughly examined and thereafter planners should be make a choice. And next step, selecting on alternative. So after evaluating various alternatives, the next step is to select the most suitable course of actions. The basic detailed and derivative plans such as policies, rules, programs, and creating budget should be formulated properly. And next one is implementing the plan. This step is concerned with transforming the plan into action. The plan must be communicated to the employees in detail. This tune will help to secure cooperation from them. Useful suggestions from employees must be considered and they should be motivated to execute the plan to the fullest of their abilities. And next one is follow-up actions. After implementing the plan, the last step is to periodically review the existing plan to ensure the plan is effective. The plan must be constantly monitored and in case of any deficiency, it should be modified and adjusted properly. And let us see the next question, nature or characteristics of our planning. We can see one by one. So the first one, planning is the primary functions of a management. It is only planning which gives meaning to all other managerial functions, namely organizing, staffing, coordinating, and controlling. So without planning, the other functions cannot be effectively performed. And next one is, it is goal oriented. The goal of every business is to make profits. Planning helps to attain the goals in the most effective and efficient manner. So the every annual production and sales target are broken into weekly and monthly targets. Thus, planning provides for a systematic approach and eliminates a random approach towards work. And next point, it is all pervasive. By this, we mean that planning is done by everyone at every level of management, namely top level, middle level, and lower level of management. Top level managers deals with managing director, general manager, and others. They should prepare long-term plans for the business as a whole organizations. And next, middle level managers, namely production manager, marketing manager, etc. They should prepare departmental plans. And third one is lower level managers like foreman, supervisors, and others members of managers. They are ready to prepare the plans and carry out their work, daily routine work properly. And next point, it is on intellectual activity. Planning is a mental activity. It involves application of mind and intelligence to attain in a systematic manner the organizational objectives. Planning requires consideration of several factors like manpower, money, availability of materials and machines, etc. And next one is, it is a future oriented. Planning is required to attain the future goals of actions. Past happenings provides a basis for plans, as future is uncertain. A plan must make suitable provisions to meet any crisis. Fluctuating demand, unavailability of raw materials, changes in government regulations, union demand, etc. And next one is, it requires an integrated approach. There must be a link between the plans of different departments, like production plan of business must be tuned with its financial plan. The marketing plan likewise must be tuned with the production plan. One shall not be contradict to others, as the plan of different departments are interrelated and interdependent. A coordinated approach is needed for the success of implementation of each plan. This is the last one. It is a continuous process. It means that a stage will never come when the need for planning will not be felt at all. Planning is required as long as we live in this world. Once a plan periods end, the next plan period starts. Thank you.